All right. So, a little nervous tonight. It's game 3, home at the Garden. Um, we had a phenomenal first 2 games. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. Power play was phenomenal. Defense was probably the best in our game, in our entire game. The reason we're winning right now is we're slowing them down. We're not allowing them to play their game. Obviously, this isn't news, but I am just a little bit worried about tonight. I shouldn't say worried. I'm a little nervous. Okay, I'm not worried because they weren't. It wasn't like the third period they were taking over and they figured it out or anything. They didn't at all. Honestly, they actually seemed very frustrated and seemed like broken because they were taking so many stupid penalties, and that's usually what you do when you have no answer, right? That's hockey. We all know that. So, couple things. Home ice advantage, I think, really matters for Igor here. I know there was a lot of Ranger fans. I know there's gonna be a lot of Devils fans here, but the Igor, those chants, those are just so. I don't even know why teams still do that anymore. I mean, it's clear that Igor, that only got to Igor, I think, the first time it happened, which was in Pittsburgh in game, I would like to say 3, right? At their, yes, away in game 3 and 4. And that's when it really messed him up. And I think that was what caused him to dip a little bit. And then he kind of got over it, got used to it, and didn't bother him since. And so, but the Rangers chanting Igor, I think, will really give him a morale boost. And I think he's going to be sharp tonight. And he might be the difference. He might steal us a game tonight. Because I do think the Devils. I don't think it's gonna be another 5-1. I don't think we're. I don't. I'm not necessarily saying we're gonna lose, but I don't think it's going to be as easy and as fun of a ride as it has been. Um, you're not gonna go down without a fight. You lose. You get knocked out twice like that. You're gonna play a little differently. So they haven't found an answer for us yet, but I'm just a little nervous. Okay, because I don't even know how to beat our team. But I'm not a professional coach. Their coach might come up with something. He's an experienced coach. They do have some good players. Like our players, Mika Zibanejad hasn't gotten going yet. Panarin hasn't really gotten going yet. And offensively, everyone's been pitching in their role and playing good D and making good plays happen, but they haven't put the pucks in the back of the net yet. And Trocheck and Laffy. And so we have a couple of guys that are yet to even ignite, but so do they. I mean, Jack Hughes hasn't really been he, Shear, Bratt. I mean, their Devils fans are livid with him, but my point is they still have a chance, and this is if they take this and make it 2-1, that changes the entire series because there's nothing stopping them from making it 2-2, and beating us at our home like we did them, and then it's even, and then what, So I think to really crush any kind of momentum or any kind of hope or any kind of comeback, it's way easier to come back from 2-1 than it is 3-0. You know what I mean? So that's just what I'm nervous about. I really, being a Rangers fan, like if we were, I don't know, if we were Colorado fans, we probably wouldn't be worried, right? But we're Ranger fans, and this is what our team does to us. But I think Igor, I think it's really going to come down to goaltending, and they just don't have it. And I think they might be starting another goalie. I don't even know if that's a good idea. I don't know. I still think we're going to win, and we might even win by a couple of goals. Our power play is just unstoppable. They haven't found an answer for that. But I just don't want to be cocky. I don't want to say like, oh, we got it in the bag. It's our series. We have to win 4. We won 2 on Tampa. Pittsburgh was up 2 on us. Didn't end well for either teams, who had the advantage, right? So, and those were last year's series, and it's a different team this year, and every series is different, and every period in the playoffs is different if you've noticed. But I haven't seen it consistent enough, all year. That's where my nervousness comes from, is that we won 7 games and then we played terrible. So it's like, can coaching really come through here? Keep our guys mentally sharp. Don't go in this game saying we're 2-0. We beat them 10-2 in their home. Right? No, this is game 1 at the Garden again. You know what I mean? This is restart, refresh. Past doesn't exist, future doesn't exist. It's just this game. And I think, Gallant says experience doesn't matter. I think that is where the experience matters. Not so much of how many games played, but the mentality of the playoffs. Of we've been here before and we've lost, or we've been here before and we won. So you know how to kind of zone into just that one game where the Devils' inexperience this is where it might really bite them. People are saying, in the play, but no, I think the mentality is more important of, can they overcome being down 2-0? I don't think they have the experience to do that on their team besides Palat maybe. But other than that, I don't think they have the experience to overcome that mentality, really. So this game could go either way. We could either be a little cocky and play a little lazy, like I've seen in this regular season. Not the same game though. Regular season playoffs are different, or the opposite, or the Devils are gonna just say, "Dang, next year," and we just steamroll them. I don't know. I hope it's that. I would love nothing more than revenge on the Devils since 2012. When they beat us, and Kreider was on that team and he lost, and that was I think his first year. I'm pretty sure, but we need to come out hard, and we just need to put it away early. Honestly, that's the best thing. That's the best thing we can do. I don't want to have a good fun series. I watch other teams to have good fun series and make it even and come back and do all that. I want to sweep 10-0 every game. Cool. Bye, Devils. See you next year. You know what I mean? That's really what I want. I don't think it's realistic though. They do have really good players. The thing is, though, they haven't even figured out how to get 5-on-5 scoring. They haven't even figured out how to beat our defense, let alone Igor. That one goal they scored the first game was a shootout. Whatever. Second goal was the short. We were on the penalty kill, and I saw it happen. I couldn't even see what was wrong. I just knew somebody was out of position and the back door was open. They were just two men too high, right in the same spot, and the defense and Lindgren was pinching up, so. The forward, so that wasn't D on D. You know what I mean? It just sloppy play, and they took advantage, and that's what I mean. It's like they're still professional hockey players. They can still take advantage of our mistakes. We just have to make sure we're not making any mistakes tonight. If we can go in there and keep it simple and play our game, and because we have the playmakers, like Patrick Kane was saying, he played a little safer the first game because that's the playoffs. You don't because these teams will capitalize on mistakes. Because there's little to no room. And if you make a mistake, there's going to be all of a sudden a whole lot of room and everyone's going to know it. So I'd rather us win 2-1 than another 5 to, I'm not saying lay back and play soft, but we have to be smarter and more careful of this game. We have to really know when for the D to step up and pinch a little bit. I don't even know if I want them to do that at all either, besides Fox, because Fox is on a tear right now. Fox is killing it. All right, so now I got that out the way of what the state of mind is right now for the Rangers, and what they really need to do is just zone in and focus on this one period at a time, one shift at a time. Obviously, whatever. But it really, really matters this game, because losing this game I think would hurt more than coming into the series 1-1. You know what I mean? We won. Taking 1 in their home rink is good. We took 2, and now that kind of got me a little nervous. We need to take our house now. At least the first game. Because that way, it's again the mentality, the inexperience of their mentality would seriously crush them. I think personally, they aren't. But then again, we didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I just think our team was a little different last year because we were able to overcome that. We had a lot of winners on our team already, even if it wasn't necessarily in the NHL. They were competitors, high-end competitors. Even the kid line, they've all experienced top-end hockey and have accomplished a lot. And Panarin, and so I don't know. It's just a different team though, but I don't think they have that. I don't see it because I could just because of the way they ended game 2. With all the penalties and all the stupid, the dirty plays and the slashing right in front of it was just immaturity. Not from the specific people. It's just as a team they just didn't have that maturity to handle that. And they haven't shown any signs of coming back. So I just want to shout out Fox, shout out Kreider, shout out Kane for a great game. Trocheck had a way better second game than the first game. I think what's his name, Meyer, got to Troch a little bit. He just seemed a little like he was trying to get back at him, and he just kind of threw him off his game a little. Where yesterday he was everywhere doing that to them. He was our pest again. He was Kreider playing phenomenal. Hedl playing phenomenal. Kako playing phenomenal. Laffy had a better first game than I think second game. Wasn't bad, though. The players that were quiet the first game didn't have a bad first game. Kane didn't have a bad first game. He was quiet, and then he had a phenomenal second game. And it was vice versa for a lot of players. Panarin is making good plays. He's still kind of quiet, though, but it's better than last year, right? Look at the difference when he's not on a line with Strome and Kopp. No offense to them, but when he's not the only guy on the line that can really create offense like that, when he has Tarasenko on the line and Troch, obviously we know how good Troch can be, so he's not forcing anything, which isn't killing our team. And Kane did the same thing, smart. The first game, wasn't going to force opportunities. He waited and then he took off, and then he figured the Devils out, figured our team out a little more, and now I hope to see that continue. Mika's been a little quiet offensively. I don't know how much. I don't know if it was just because of Kane on that line, and because he's used to Kreider on his line. I don't know why that line hasn't taken off yet. I know I just said Kane had a great game, but that didn't necessarily mean it was because of that line connecting so much. Because both of those assists were on the power play, and the other one was an unassisted breakaway. So it had nothing to do with Zibanejad. So I don't want to say he's invisible because he's making great plays defensively. Everybody's playing their part defensively. So when I'm saying they're not doing that good, I'm mostly talking about offense right now. VC's a freaking energizer bunny. The guy that I've never seen him stop skating. Him and Mott together, and then Gaudreau brings the grit and the defensive play there too. And that line is just so dang good. And I know the Devils have a good fourth line. Ours is just a little more experienced and a little better. They are, and they can score a little more. You know, they just have more energy. And the same thing with the kid line. They're just relentless. The Rangers have been. Everyone as a team has just been so relentless, where this is nonstop going at them, and you just can't stop them. So I want to see more of that. And I think if we bring that on today and clog up the middle in the front of the net, and don't give them any chances near Igor or any rebounds near Igor, because that's where we really, really messed up against Pittsburgh last year. Round one was just the rebounds and just allowing them to walk right in. That really hurt Igor, and that wasn't his fault. And I really like what Valaket said about how Igor is making good saves, and he's keeping us in games at times where I feel like the Devils have thrown everything they had at us, and Igor is like barely breaking a sweat almost. Like he's making good saves, but he's not wearing himself out, you know. And the defense is doing well to maintain that, but it's also like he just like Lundqvist. Like how many times have we seen Lundqvist just exhaust himself, and then all of a sudden then he finally gets beat, you know what I mean? And whether it's one sequence or over a span of a series, you know. And I think that's what happened against Igor in Tampa Bay, where because of Pittsburgh and Carolina were so stressful that he just, you know, our whole team was gassed basically, and we're just coming into this season or coming into the playoffs during the regular season. You could see we were pacing ourselves. I mean, we wanted first, but we weren't killing ourselves over it, you know. And in the playoffs, these games have been fairly easy for us, you know. And I don't, obviously the score, but I mean wearing ourselves out to get to that score. It didn't take that much, you know what I mean? We are a big physical team. It's not like we're going crazy, like the Devils are being thrown off of their game to compete with us physically, and it's wearing them down, and they're losing their speed, and we're shutting them speed down. So we just these simple things that we need to keep in place, and I think we'll definitely have this game for Game 3. But again, it comes down to mainly coaching, I would say. Let's see if Gallant can keep that mental sharpness with our team, because he's done a fantastic job. This team came out of nowhere. I didn't think this series my prediction was that we were going to lose the first 2 games. So, and I guess that's also what I'm nervous about. I hope I didn't jinx it. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't continue that sentence, but I predicted they were going to come out and beat us 2-0, and then we would come out and beat them with our experience and mental sharpness that I'm talking about, that I thought we were going to come back at them. But hopefully our mental toughness is going to be as strong as I think it is, and just because we're here already, keep it here, because it is very easy to get lazy when you have a lead and you're doing good, you know. You can't rest on our laurels. We have to come out as tough as we can be. This has to be the best game we've played all playoffs, all 3 games. So yeah, with that, nothing else to be said. Let's go Rangers. Have a great game tonight. I'll be watching in my gear. I'll hopefully post some shorts. Probably most likely complaining about refs or the third man in or whatever. But yeah, let's go Rangers, no quit in New York. This is the New York Rangers State of Mind podcast. Peace and love.